Joe Biden has asked the Secretary of the U.S. Senate to direct a search for an alleged complaint dating back nearly 30 years. This after unequivocally denying this morning that he sexually assaulted a staffer during his time as a senator in 1993. Tara Reid, who worked for Biden then, formally made a complaint to police last month. So let's bring in the CBC's Katie Simpson in Washington on this. So Katie, tell us more about what Biden said and why.
Well, there has been pressure mounting on Joe Biden and his campaign to address this allegation that came out about a month ago. As you mentioned, Tara Reid worked for Joe Biden when he was a senator in Washington back in the early 90s. And during that time, she first came forward publicly alleging that Joe Biden made her uncomfortable, said there was unwanted touching and kissing. She was one of a number of women who came forward to say that the senator's actions and the way he interacted with women made him feel uncomfortable. There were a number of women who came forward to say that over the years, Joe Biden had made them feel uncomfortable, and he addressed those allegations at the time. However, she did not make public this allegation that came forward a month ago about a sexual assault she alleges took place when she was working in his office. Now, Joe Biden, there had been pressure building on Joe Biden to address this. He had not addressed this for the past month, but today he went on an American political morning talk show and finally personally denied it.
No, it is not true. I'm saying unequivocally, it never happened. And it didn't. It never happened. I don't remember any type of complaint she may have made. It was 27 years ago. And I don't remember, nor does anyone else that I'm aware of. And the fact is that I don't remember. I don't remember any complaint ever having been made.
Now, Joe Biden, when he went on to make that denial, saying he did not do that, he was very careful to say that women who are in situations where they feel they have been inappropriate, there has been misconduct or there has been sexual assault, that women should still come forward and that those claims must be subjected to scrutiny. Again, he says he didn't do it. Tara Reid came forward a month ago with this allegation. Even her mother her late mother called into CNN, the Larry King show. There's audio of that phone call where she said her daughter had a difficult time working in a senator's office. And what do you do other than going to the press? It didn't specifically mention any allegation of sexual assault, but there had been all of this new information building. Joe Biden finally addressed it today. But Joe Biden, who is trying to be the Democratic nominee for president, he's leading a party that has tried to position itself at the forefront of the Me Too movement, saying that it is a zero tolerance zone for any sort of misconduct, especially and mistreatment of women. So he'd been watched very closely to see how he would respond to this, denying it, but at the same time making sure that he doesn't disrespect, doesn't come forward with any sort of dismissals of people who make these claims.
So what's the reaction been like, Katie?
Well, there certainly has been a lot of pressure from the conservative media for Joe Biden to address this allegation. Fox News was sending out e-blasts every time there was a little development on this to its viewers, alerting them of the updates. Today, we heard from the White House, the new press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany. She offered this.
We are pleased that the former vice president has decided to go on the record. It took him less than, 16 hours to follow the advice of the president of the United States and come out and publicly address those claims. So, we're glad to see that he's on the record on this.
So the White House is trying to spin this as that Donald Trump spoke up and Joe Biden listened to him and did what he said. But if you take a look at the way the Democrats and the Republicans are looking at this issue, not specifically about Joe Biden, but of when a woman comes forward to accuse a man in a position of power of inappropriate conduct or sexual assault, the Democrats and the Republicans are very much approaching this in incredibly different ways. The Democrats, who do rely on the votes of women, and again has been sort of at the forefront of the Me Too movement, they have been very strongly advocating and trying to, as Joe Biden makes the denials around this, try to make sure that they do this. He does it in a way that's not going to alienate women, not dismiss women who have come forward and have made claims and are not believed in their valid claims. On the other hand, President Donald Trump, during the 2016 election, the New York Times reports he was accused of sexual assault, even one instance of rape, more than a sexual assault and a rape claim but he just undercuts the accusers, dismisses the thing, and keeps barreling forward. Two very different approaches to a very difficult issue.
Yeah, most certainly. Katie, thanks for the latest on this.
Thanks.
Katie Simpson reporting from Washington.